Oh my God, this is amazing. Our first vlog roasting. Today we have a special guest over here. It's Heinrich Prokop. Some guy you will know him from 2 minutes and 2 billion. Let's start with our 10 questions and
Loader block. Flow.
Our first question. Tell us about your successful concept of bringing together investors and startups. How did you come up with the idea?
Who starts?
Yeah, well, short and simple, isn't it? No. We started this idea actually 5 years ago. Heinrich and myself, we know each other actually through business in the retail sector. So we met on the private label fair in Amsterdam, and then startup industry or the startup market was just blossoming at that time, and was just getting a stage in Amsterdam. So we were looking into that and saw something different, because all these venture capitals, they were looking at tech innovation companies or startups in that sector. And we saw that actually the traditional sector, so the real products and services, were basically neglected at that time.
But you are quite elaborate here.
Why?
When we're talking about give short, quick answers.
Yeah, but there's no quick answer where we're coming from, isn't it? So
That was not the question.
No, because he was asking he was asking 3 questions actually at the same time.
I'm
So
sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's
Heinrich takes over.
No, it's quite good.
I have a second question for you. Do you think it's possible for startups in Austria to start without much capital, or is the financial background crucial for success and of a profitable business?
That's a good question. I think that money is not scarce anymore. You know, money is now much more easier to find. So whether you look into it, it's actually the skill set that defines the people. So it's about the people in the business, but also for young entrepreneurs, you also have to be much more critical to look into the venture capitals or partners you want to work with. So I think in essence, the skills and the expertise are more important on both sides than the money at the moment.
I can fully second what she's saying. I do believe that it's not super critical, the money issue. You can find the money nowadays, but you need to look where to get it from. So, yeah, does that answer your question?
Of course, venture capital is not a big issue anymore.
Yeah,
No.
Not like it was.
Not the way it
2 years
used
ago.
to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At which stage should a business start looking for investment? Which aspects have to be present, and where do you need flexibility from the investor?
If probably is my.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Take it.
because that's a really good question. Yeah. One of the things we see is that as soon as you started your company, people are always too late looking for money. So when you say at which stage, you should be looking for money at every stage and start looking as soon as you can even think about. That's not contradicting what we said before about is it difficult to find money. It's not as difficult as it was, but you still should always envision that you will need money anytime soon. So don't waste your time, don't come too late looking for money, come early enough. That's one thing. What has to be present, that's the second part of your question, is you have to have a plan, you have to have a vision, and you have to have a team which kind of gives the basic or the main elements of your business idea, the bases are covered. So if you get my drift, yeah? So you need to have a sales manager, you need to have a finance guy, you need to have a production, an operational guy, if this fits to your business, yeah? So that is what we're looking for.
And the people you attract to your business need also be capable of having several hats on, especially in the early stages.
Yeah.
You cannot have, you're not a corporate business yet, so you cannot act like a corporate either. So you have to take that into account as soon as you also start talking to investors like Heinrich or ourselves, to have that vision ready. Okay, which people, on which place.
How do you decide about an investment? What are the most important factors for you?
Well, for me, the most important factor is that...
Can I leave the room for...
No, okay. Please, let Heinrich. No, please.
You know, I'm used to being the spotlight, but she's
No!
taking this all over.
Maybe I'm jealous.
We want to
No, but it's actually, you're saying all the right things. Maybe besides that it needs to fit within our expertise, and I think this is looking at, not looking at the target per se, where we have different criteria, or very specific criteria. It also needs to fit within our expertise, what Luz said a few minutes ago. We should not engage into anything which is not into our heritage, in our point of a pool of knowledge, because that not only will drive us away from being sharp and being able to help the company, it's actually diluting our strength. It makes us weaker if we engage into areas where we aren't experts in. If you say, what are we looking into the company, I think this reflects what I said a few minutes ago. They need to have a plan, it needs to be somehow scalable, it has to have traction, all of that.
Yeah, they need to have anything of value, backing up the business. So whether that's
uniqueness.
Yeah, whether that is a patent or anything else, or someone has been willing to pay for their product or for their service, that's the moment when we are willing to talk to them.
Yes.
Not sooner or later.
Yesterday on 2 minutes, 2 billion, there was a project about an e-bike. And I saw in your face you was interested in the product, but you saw it's not our knowledge. So I will not be the perfect investor.
Correct. This was exactly, you saw that correctly. What I liked most actually was not so much the product, but the guy.
Yeah.
The guy, the entrepreneur, is totally convincing. He lived his idea, he transpired his passion and his dream, and it was really convincing. And I think that was the reason why Mr. Hardensteiner invested. He invested in the person, and yes, he liked the bike, but it was the person, and that is what we also do. We invest in people, we invest in the teams. Yeah. The product comes second. Even though but we've seen good ideas.
Well, maybe a good example, always when it's 10 before midnight, this is what we normally discuss as well, that for both of us, I believe, exposes the entrepreneur. Because that shows, how hard you're willing to fight for something when you're almost already done. You get it? So then the product or service at that moment, it cannot be investable, but the person is. So the next time that person comes up with an idea for a product or a service, you're saying like, hey, call me, because at least you're knowing how stuff works, you're capable of managing a team, etc., etc., etc. Yeah.
And we've had, just to finish this up, we've had ideas in CC, in Clever Clover, which we had to turn away because it didn't fit our scope. We still support these people and the ideas, because we just like the people. And we just like the teams, and say, never mind, we're not investing, but come.
You separate sympathy from an investment.
Yes.
But also, let's be fair, this world, entrepreneurial or startup ecosystem gets dominated, of course, by young entrepreneurs. So these young entrepreneurs, they all know each other. They're all part of the same ecosystem. They all talk on the same platforms. So these people also know people. So it's you see how the circle works.
What goes around comes around.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't want to say that. It was in my mind, but exactly.
What kind of value do you think does online marketing have for the success of new companies? Do you think it depends on the industry sector?
Yes, absolutely. That is, I think this is relatively easy to answer. Nowadays, of course, it all mixes up a bit, but I still believe that, say, if a product is clearly focused on retail, online marketing only can bring you to a certain stage. But on the other hand, you can start to promote your idea, and you get you even into the trade by making professional online marketing. Say if you go for services, or say your business model only generates the most profit if you go through online and leave out the traditional retail, then of course it does make a different sense. Services, online marketing, big time. Real products, or say food stuff, I'd say,
This question,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize for it. It was a little bit of self-marketing.
Yeah.
On the 8th, what are the benefits for startups when they are cooperating with CC, with Clever Clover?
That's a
Well, I think
question to you.
well we can do this both. I think most things have already been highlighted in this back and forth answering your questions. Is that we look at the requirements for our entities. That was one. We're putting our money where our mouth is at, but also back it up with the right support as necessary. So also in M&E or in a later stage in the business or for them in their business, we are able to provide this. But another unique element is that we have a very open culture. So people feel safe to come up to us when they have problems or when they have certain discussions who can be maybe politically influenced or sensitive. And I think that open culture is so important to have the advantage not only in the team setup, but also in business in the markets, because when you have an open door culture, it's easier to talk, but then you're also at the moment, at the right time, you know what it's about, and you can anticipate to it. So you can back it up with the right support or what?
No, not what. No, just
Oh.
adding to what you're saying is one of the things is the open door policy also reflects to us opening doors.
Yeah.
Okay? That is one of the things we can do very well. That this small startup will have big difficulties to go to the large retailers, to the multipliers of that work. And these people can knock on our doors, which are actually open, so they don't have to knock on it, but go into our room and say, hey, we need an opening into the Tesco's of this world, and we can facilitate this.
So we provide a platform to pitch, which is important.
They can pitch.
Yeah.
Did you change the direct inquiries submitted to Clever Clover?
We have a bigger fan base.
No, one thing is that's quite funny actually, because I'm doing this now for the 3rd year together with Luce, and Luce is also getting more and more public profile. And it's like when we walk through Vienna nowadays, people stop and taking selfies with us, and we can't, fool around and being stupid anymore because we're constantly watched by people.
You need to watch what you're saying, on the
So
blue
that has
afternoon.
changed from how we do things on the open. But to come back to the real question, yes, it has changed. Yes, we're getting far more inquiries, which is actually the reason why we are there. One of the reasons is we believe that this format does have an educational element in this, which needs to be supported. It's like, the voice on entrepreneur, I find is a very good idea. The second thing, of course, for us is we want to kind of project us as the FMCG people. If it's food, if it's stuff, come to Clever Clover. And the intake process has been automated or has been sharpened with a system we just recently invested.
Yeah, the deal matrix.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which, you go on.
No, but that has nothing to do with this question because that's
Yes, it has,
basically,
because he was asking whether.
I have question number 10, maybe then you can answer about this. What do you think are the biggest barriers for startups in our country?
Well, here comes indeed the deal matrix in place, because I do believe, like, if you constantly overload startups or young entrepreneurs with questions for the investor report, which is of course of utmost importance, but I believe venture capital should also be able to do their own homework. And I believe if you just ask 4 simple questions about how their business performed last month, where they are going next month, you're kind of able to crunch the numbers yourself and know where the company is going to. So don't bore them or strip them away from their time and focus on what they are doing good by... you want to interrupt again? Yes?
Yeah, I think really I need to interrupt because that is a different question he just said. He was asking, we can cut this.
Yes, sometimes we cut, but mostly.
Yeah, no, because he was, if I got you right, you said, what's the biggest challenges for startups in this country?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I have a hearing problem. I'm sorry.
I can talk louder.
Okay, that's good.
And
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
Right now.
No, I'm sorry. I misinterpreted the question.
But this is not a problem, because I think I don't like this question because it's a negative question.
Correct.
And all the other questions bringing people forward, and this is always sticky into the point.
And it's a question who has been asked. Exactly.
I don't like it so much. So
Yeah,
we will cut it totally
the
out.
good point is that we do things different in the sense is that we do take that away from them so that they can.
What is your quick advice for them?
I don't fully understand the question.
Some people out there, and maybe they have some ideas, they are trying to go to the market, but they are not sure should they go
founders.
to founders.
Founders,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. So there's people out there and they're asking themselves,
should I go to an investor?
should I go to
Oh.
an investor?
Should
Okay.
I search?
Good.
Should I talk to you?
Yes.
Now we know when they should talk with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
But they are not sure. Should they?
Yeah. For us, I think the answer is coming to us as Clever Clover. You need to have an early stage company, meaning it's not a startup.
Pre-seed.
It's not a pre-seed. It already needs to have some traction, needs to have some turnover. The business idea has to be a bit more mature than the usual. I have this idea, and that's we will believe that all this will be big. So coming to us at that stage would be too early. We need to see some turnover. We need to see an established business, and like I said, the ground basis being covered with the team.
Yeah.
Then we talk.
That's the utmost important bit.
But we are not the only ones out there. So there is people out there who do fund seed or pre-seed, and I would encourage everybody to live their dream and to go out and seek somebody who shares that dream.
Yeah, but especially in the pre-seed phase, until that moment that an investor comes on board, make sure that you're market ready. That's basically where it comes down to. And until that moment, because investors, otherwise it's expensive money. Try if you can with your own capital or with family and friends to support, the first prototype,
Yes.
for example, or the
Good. Do not go to investors too early, because
No.
you're giving away too early too much.
You're-
Yes.
Yourself up.
Yes.
can be expensive.
Can be very
Yeah.
expensive.
I think this is a very good last sentence. Lou, Heinrich, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
For my English.
No, me apologies.
So see you again on the Game Changer.
Game
on
Changer.
Sphere.
Looking forward.
We'll be there, and we will not get drunk too early. And we will never get drunk.
No, and at last I want to say thank you to Nicole Westreicher, because she helped me with the questions. So amazing.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank her too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.